What's the main thing you've learned from your first 4 games as a first team manager?
I think keep working on our processes, our methodology, how we coach, how we teach, how we run the week, making sure the game plans are prepared and executed how we want them to. So just be strong in all of those areas, and then the performances will be a direct result of that. Once the players' fitness and understanding is where we want it to be.
Has anything surprised you about being on the touchline during these first 4 games, about the level, the atmosphere, whatever it may be?
I think the fans of our supporters have been great. I think we've averaged like in the top 3 home attendances for every home game we've had. So it shows the excitement there is from Morecambe supporters, not just local ones, but I know I've spoken to a lot who have travelled from further afield. So listen, for us, it's to make sure the support and the trust they've got in us, we pay that back with good performances, but also a team that they're proud to watch, and it's an exciting afternoon or evening when they come and watch a game.
How pleased are you with the progress?
Yeah, good. Really pleased. If we look at it in a traditional pre-season point of view, today would be we would have finished 2 weeks of pre-season on Tuesday, and today would be our second day of our third week. So we would have had 1 friendly game, would have had maybe 10 training sessions, whereas we've had like 4 matches preparing for the 5th one. So yeah, I'm pleased. Like I said multiple times now, the players' application and their work ethic and everything about how they've trained and applied themselves has been fantastic. But not just the players, but also the staff at the club. Not just the coaches and the physios and the sports science staff, but everyone, the admin staff, all the office workers, media staff, everybody in the club has really worked hard to give the players what they need to try and get up to speed and perform as well as and as quick as possible.
We certainly got an insight into your philosophy on Tuesday with Gwion Edwards' goal and the build-up to it. Fantastic passing football, but how wedded are you to that philosophy, or does it have to adapt sometimes depending on match circumstances or the opposition?
No, so the principles stay the same. So we've got a global idea of what our team needs to look like, and our training processes, our analysis processes are all linked directly to that. So the work we do in the week are linked to our principles. But then you have to adapt to the opposition. We knew Forest Green would leave space in behind. They're going to press super aggressively. So we knew there'd be space to play forward quicker. There'd be space to make passes in between the lines. Against Woking, the team didn't really look how I wanted to look from a style point of view. We were too slow with the ball. We weren't playing forward enough. But that was because that was our like 3rd game. And after only a few training sessions, with 1 more training session, we've seen what the team was able to achieve for the first 30, 35 minutes. So after a few more weeks and more time together, I'm sure we'll be able to sustain that for 90 minutes. But yeah, the philosophy or the style of play, like we're strict on that. We're clear what the game needs to look like. But then, yeah, of course, you have to take into account the opposition. If they drop back and they sit deep, then we have to be patient and draw them out. But when there's space like there was against Forest Green, we have to be vertical and play forward. And there has to be forward runners, and we have to get in the box quicker. And I think for the first 30 minutes, the amount of final third entries we had, the amount of shots we had, the chances that we created, I was pleased. And then, listen, the boys they've had only a few training sessions, so their fitness obviously was going to be down at some point in the first half, and then we suffered with the goal as a direct result of that. But the players' application, their understanding, their work ethic, their willingness to do what we want to do has been top. And once we've got this period of pre-season in inverted commas out of the way, I think we have a really, really strong team.
I've got to talk about passing it out from the back, playing it short from the keeper. It can give supporters palpitations. We saw it lead to the equaliser on Tuesday night. But is it a key part of your philosophy to get that forward part of the game going? You've got to do that? Or again, is it mix and match?
No, so the goal is the example. We have to make short passes to draw the opposition in. We have to make them want to press. And when they press, it opens them up and we have space then to play in between the lines. If you play long, direct every time, it's a 50-50 ball. Like either you're going to win it or they're going to win it. Whereas the style we want to build is there's clarity and there's assertiveness in what we're doing. We know if there's space, we can play the pass directly in behind. So there were multiple times when Archie played into Gwion where their fullbacks jumped. There was a lot of space in behind. We found Gwion with 1 pass from the goalkeeper. But there's moments when they didn't jump. We've got to make 1 or 2 passes to make them jump and make them press. And then we play forward. So ultimately our game's about playing forward. It's about scoring goals. It's about playing energetic and exciting football. But then it depends on the opposition how we do that. If there is the space, we do it straight away. If there isn't the space, we have to create that. But listen, I'm very confident within the next few weeks and months, we'll have a team that completely understands what to do in every situation. I'm really confident in our training and how we're going to work. We'll see some really good performances over the next few months.
So it's risk reward then, is it?
No,
Every now and then it goes wrong. We've seen it in the Premier League.
No, it's not a risk.
No, right.
It's not a risk. I think the risk is if you kick it long and the other team, the defender might win it and we're open and they attack our goal. Whereas this is about security. It's making sure we're confident in what we're doing. And it's about exploiting spaces the opposition leave. We know that if we play a short pass and they jump, they're spacing behind or spacing the pocket. We know if we play to our left side, we can play to the right side because then they're going to all go to the left. So it's not risk. That's the wrong way of looking at it. For me, I think the narrative around this style of football, I think, is blown a little bit out of proportion. We're playing the style that's going to win us or put us in the best position of winning games, and it's a style that every single player in football wants to play. They want to be with the ball. They want to be in a team where they get the ball to their feet or they can run in behind. So I'm really confident in the next few months we'll have a really, really good team. Is
that what you found then, that the players have bought into your style? They love the idea of playing this way?
Yeah, of course. If you look at all of the top teams in England or across the world, that's the way they play. And not just in the Premier League or the Championship, but if you look at teams that have got promoted out of this league in the last few years, the best teams that have got promoted playing this way of football. Obviously, short term, we might concede goals like we had. Like, that's inevitable. When you try something new, when you haven't trained, when you haven't had any preseason games, that is going to happen. But my job is to make sure now it happens less and less, where the players' understanding and confidence increases training by training, game by game. But if a player makes a mistake and we concede a goal, then it's my job to support him in that moment and give him the solutions to get better next time.
So you don't blame them. No, if it goes wrong like that, it's part and parcel.
Of course. Listen, no player wants to make a mistake. Every player wants to do something to the best of their ability, and if they make a mistake, you've got to support them and find the solution as to what can be improved, which is what we've done this morning. But yeah, this isn't about like blaming the players, or if they do something, you criticize them. It's about finding solutions and making sure they've got the solutions and support to be able to play the way we want to play. But yeah, my message is the narrative around style of play, just enjoy it. Like, it doesn't need to be blown out of proportion. It's a way of playing football. It's the way I believe, and I'm going to stick to that. Like other managers believe in other ways. But what that means is we'll have a team that is really exciting in the next few weeks. But it will take time.
Yeah, you said then a few weeks. The table sort of taking shape, apart from Morecambe, obviously, because of the many games in hand. Does it worry you, though, that maybe by the time you have got everything clicked into place, that there could be quite a gap at the bottom of the table for you to catch up?
We try and win every game. So you've said there could be quite a gap, but there might not be a gap. If we perform well on Saturday and we play how we want to play, then we get 3 points, and then that gap's smaller. So I think we have to look at it from a positive angle. I don't really want it to be an environment where people think of worst case scenarios or negativity. It has to be positive. From my experience, that's the best environments in football.
I was going to ask you about that, Ash, because last week a couple of fans I spoke to said, it looks like we're not going to win any games till the end of October, but that's not what you're saying.
No, and I think you've probably chosen a really small sample size, 1 or 2 fans, and there's 3,000 fans that came. So if you ask the other 2,998, maybe they've got a different opinion. Listen, I believe in what I do. If we were in pre-season, the mistakes and the errors or the indecisiveness that we're seeing, that would be fixed in the pre-season games. We haven't had that luxury, so we're learning how each player works or how they are as we go along. But I've always said by the end of October we'll be where we need to be. So I'm excited for that period.
And in terms of player recruitment, you brought a couple more in on everyone else's transfer deadline day. Still more recruiting to do?
Yeah, but we can be more specific now. So now we've got a squad built in terms of, I think, a squad that will compete very well in the National League once we're up to speed. I think some of the players that we've got exceed the level of the league, and I think we've got some young players who are really exciting. Listen, this year is about staying up, making sure we stay in the league and making sure we build the club again. Like 3 weeks ago, there wasn't a club. 3 weeks ago, there was nobody working. There was no processes. There was nothing. We've had to build everything from scratch. So recruitment processes, analysis, sports science, like admin processes for players' contracts. There was nothing. And I think in 2.5 weeks to build what we've built and have a real functioning club that's competitive, I think everybody should be really proud of that. So this year's about building that and then seeing where we can get to.
So Boreham Wood, great win last night at Sutton, 5 games unbeaten. Quite a challenge.
Yeah, every game is a challenge in this league. It's a very competitive league. As we saw from Woking, every team's going to want to come and beat us. They're going to have a clear game plan. So it's down to us to work out how we're going to win, have a clear plan, have solutions, make sure the players are clear on what that looks like, as they were against Forest Green. But then just building on those performances. So for 35 minutes, I'd say we were better than Forest Green. Listen, they had a lot of shots, they had a lot of final third entries, but the majority of those came after we tired. If we just look at the first 30 minutes of the game, it was a very even game. I'd say we were probably the better team. And then the disparity came once our fitness level showed. So by the end of October, I think we'll be fine.
And have you got full availability for the weekend?
We have. Now the squad's starting to take shape. So today will be the first time in training we've doing an 11v11 work. So it's the first like proper tactical training, if we want to call it that. It's the first time we've had that luxury, which, listen, if the team's performing how they are without having done that before, then in 1 or 2 months' time, I think we'll be in a good place.
You talked about exciting football. A lot of fans, for exciting football, they just want to win. That's the exciting thing. Do you think the second win isn't far away?
Yeah, so it's having a methodology to win. It's knowing what is going to win us the game. And I think, so we're not the coaching staff, I'm not a manager. The players that we've got are not players that are going to want to hit and hope. 50-50, if the defender heads it, then okay. If we score, we score. It's having clarity on what does that win look like. And once our processes are in place, the players are fit, and the understanding's there, we're going to be a very good team.